What's up, guys? We're about to go film Evan Pappas. He's waiting for us inside. A very young, talented guitar player that goes to my school. So we're gonna just have a little interview with him, and he's gonna play for us. So let's see what he's got.
My name is Evan Pappas. I'm 16. I was born in New Jersey, moved here when I was 6. I tried picking up guitar in 3rd grade, and I always got frustrated with it, so I gave up for a while. But in 6th grade, I was doing really well in school, but I didn't have really any hobbies, so I got bored a lot, and I'd see that guitar sitting in the corner of my room, and one day I decided to pick it back up again. I was determined to learn something, and I wouldn't give up until I did. I remember the first thing I learned to play, it was a guitar solo. It was, you know the song "The Middle" by Jimmy Eat World?
Oh yeah.
That was the first first guitar solo I learned to play. It wasn't very good. One of my biggest influences, I'd have to say, is Stevie Ray Vaughan. He's a Strat guy. He's got big amps. Doesn't have a whole lot of pedals, like 2 pedals. I love listening to Led Zeppelin and AC/DC, and my dad had the old vinyl records, and when I'd go visit him after I moved down here, we would just sit in his basement in his townhouse and listen to these old records, and I was like, oh, that sounds pretty cool. And he had an electric drums kit, and we would try and play. And whenever my uncle would come visit, my uncle plays guitar. Whenever he would come, we would all have a little jam session, even though I didn't do anything because I didn't know how to play back then. After I started getting good, I started to realize, hey, I can actually play. Like, it's not hopeless. And I started getting better and better, and I learned a lot of songs that I thought were like impossible. And I was like, I can play the things I've wanted to play. I can play things that my guitar heroes play. And I think at that point I was like, well, if I can play what they're playing, why stop there? Tried to get a band together. I'm still trying. That's obviously something really important, because I don't want to go up there and just play by myself with electric guitars and amps, because I don't think it sounds good. I'm a perfectionist. I'm always looking for it to be exactly how I want it to be, and if it's not, I'm not happy with it. But ideally, I would love to perform. I'd love to go on tour and do all that crazy stuff, make albums, record, collect. But it depends on if I can get my stuff together, basically. I listen to many different kinds of music, but primarily what I play is like old style blues. It's mostly what I play. I would love to play that because most of the blues legends, guitar heroes that I love, most of them are dead, so there's not a whole lot left. As an artist, I would love to try different things, put out different albums in different genres or styles, play differently, because I get bored playing the same thing over and over again. So I would love to try and branch out and play different things, but I think you could put a modern spin on blues. I think the difference would be raw talent. I mean, anyone can sit behind a keyboard and press a few keys or sit behind a computer, but I think it really takes someone with talent to play hard on an instrument, because it's not easy all the time. Sometimes it's stressful, sometimes it hurts. I mean, I don't think a computer hurts sitting behind it. So I got a custom 36 coupe amp. It's just, I think I got it for like $275. And I got it, it was my first tube amp. And I was like, wow, this thing is pretty cool. And then like 3 months later, I was like, I hate this thing. So I was always into vintage gear, but also vintage gear costs like 3 times as much as new gear. So the problem was I didn't have any money. I was like, oh, that sounds like a cool idea. You can have the exact same amp for a fraction of the cost. So I talked to my dad about it, and I finally convinced him to buy me an amp kit. Eventually I started getting better at guitar, and I was like, I need something louder. I want something that sounds better. I want more versatility out of an amp. This was my latest amp that I built. When I built it, I had it in mind as being a business model, something I could base my future amps off of if I were to sell them, which I would be happy to. I get a lot of the parts from a website called Mojo Tone. They make these cabinets. They're very, very nice cabinets, and I always get them lacquered because it looks better. So this is the inside of the amp. This is based off of Fender 5E3 Deluxe, which is a very popular amp. It's not very complicated. It's got 6v6 power tubes. It's all tube. But I think tube amps sound better than solid state amps. Really, because it's more natural. I love the way they start to distort when you turn the volume up. And that's just because you're driving the tubes harder. I mean, tubes aren't perfect. They're not a perfect thing, but that's why they sound good. It's because when you put a lot of stress on them, they start to almost, I don't want to say malfunction, but kinda. Because that's what gives classic rock distortion sound, is the tubes just breaking up. That's the term used. Most of my guitar heroes, they used this amp. This amp was the framework for famous Marshall amps. So that was really the reason I picked it. And I couldn't be happier with it. It sounds killer.